What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the last part of this series. This is going to be our last custom activity indicator, and I'm actually going to walk through this entire thing with you, so no sped up coding or anything like that. So the last video in this series is going to be on the 3 circles that replace each other. They fade in, move across the screen, and then fade out. So we are going to get right into this by creating a new file. We are going to call this a fading circle view. We'll go with circle view. And once again, just like everything else, we are going to be subclassing UI view. So class fading circle view, UI view. We need to override the init method again. We need the frame, cgrect, and super.init frame of frame. All right, so to get this started, we need to also create our 3 circles. So we're going to create our 3 circles up at the top. So we'll just call them circle 1, UI view, circle 2, and circle 3. And then we are also going to declare a circle array, which is going to be an array of UI views, just to make this a little bit easier to go through and iterate through all of these to set these up. So we're going to call a configure function similar to how we have in the past videos. Func configure. And we are also going to set this up programmatically, so it translates auto resizing mask. We're going to set to false, and then we're going to fill our circle array with our 3 circles, 2 and circle 3. All right, and then to set up all of our circles, we're going to iterate through that circle array. So for circle in circle array, and here's going to be where we set these up. So circle.frame, we're going to set that equal to cgrect. We're going to start it off to the left of the view that we have set up. So we're going to go -20, 5 just to set it right in the middle, 30 and 30, so the middle vertically. We'll get into that a little bit more when we actually set up our view programmatically in the view controller. But just right now, those are values that I've dialed in, so just trust me on that. Circle.layer.corner radius, and here we are going to be making these actual circles. So because they have a width and a height of 30, we're going to go with half of that, which is 15. Circle.background color. Color equals, we're going system pink because it looks all right. And the alpha we are going to initially set to 0 here. And then we need to add it to our subview circle. All right. So that is all we needed to do to set these up. And I spelled circle wrong. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and create the animation function right away. So func animates. We're going to declare a delay because we need each of the circles coming in to be slightly delayed so they're not all overlapping and moving across at the same time. So we're actually going to put that as a double and initialize that to 0. And then once again, we are going to iterate through our circle array, and we're going to call a function called animate circle with the circle as the view that we're passing in, and then the delay being the delay there. And after each one, we're going to add 0.95 seconds. Once again, that is just a value that I have dialed in while creating this. Finally, in this file, we are going to create that animate circle function with those same values being passed in that we have up here. So a UI view and a double. And this is going to look a lot similar to what we did last video with the two circles that rotated around each other. So we're going to run UI view that animates. We need the delay here. And this is, once again, some of these are just values that I have dialed in. So the 0.8 seconds is just something that I've worked out to where it looked pretty good. You can still change that if you'd like, obviously, to values that, you know, might work better in your app. And here we are just going to change the frame so that it goes slightly across the screen. We're keeping the width and the height and the Y value the same. We're just changing that X value there. And in the completion handler, completed, we're going to once again run another UI view.animate with relatively the same values. So this one is going to be, so that first one is going to be the fade in. So that's we're going from the alpha of 0 to the alpha of 1. And then that duration is going to take about 0.8 seconds. And then from there, we are going slowly across the screen, and then we're going to fade out. So this second one that we're writing right now is going to be the moving across the screen relatively slowly. So delay of 0 there, once again, curve linear. And we are just changing the frame here. So we're not doing anything with the alpha right here. And here we are going to go 85, and then once again, these are going to stay the same. And then once again, in the completion handler, we are going to run a final UI view animation. And all this is going to be doing, like I mentioned earlier, is reversing that fade in with a fade out. And that is going to be circle.alpha equals 0 once again. And then circle.frame equals cgrect of 140, 5, 30, and 30. And then in this completion, we actually do need a completion handler here as well. And we are going to set the frame of the circle. We're going to reset it to its original value, which we can see up here. So I'm actually going to go and copy and paste that into right here. And then we are going to, once again, recursively call animate circle of the circle, and we're going to pass in a delay of 0 since everything will already be delayed from the first time we ran this. So to implement this, we need to go into the view controller, add a fading circle view up at the top, fading circle view, and then configure fading circle view down here, private func, configure fading circle view. And this is going to be very similar to our rotating circle view, so I'm just going to copy and paste that. Fading circle view. And then here, just a little quick tip too, if you do shift control, you can just go down the list here and change all of that at once. Circle view. And then we are actually going to add a constant here just so we can move it down a little bit. Constant, and we'll call it 100. However, this height and width, we are actually going to change to 40 and 150 for the width. That is just something that, once again, I have dialed in. So you can change that if you want based on your needs, but that is what we're going to go with right now. And finally, in our view tapped, we are just going to call animate. And that should be everything. So hopefully this works as it should. While this is building, be sure to like and subscribe if you liked this series. and I will be posting all of these final solutions to GitHub, and I will put a link down in the description for that. All right, so I just finished building. So as you can see, we can't see anything down at the bottom right now because we have all of the circles set to an alpha of 0. But once we tap the screen, there we go. We see all of them show up and they fade out, and everything is working just as expected. I would have liked to move it down a little bit more, but that's okay. You get the points. And yeah, hopefully you guys like this, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.